Hi, in this tool I'm going to demonstrate the functionality of the KG-ExtendedCarve. So what we have here is one curve. I resampled the curve and duplicate it so we have like multiple curves over here. So the basic functionality that you have is by default you have a contract direction in which you can make the curve smaller. This is like the default behavior, making it smaller, so you have like U value or the V value. Now there's something over here which is set fixed carve inversion. So what this allows you to do is when you have like your carving and it becomes like smaller than 0, it's not going to go to the opposite side, so it's going to keep it at a minimum. So this is useful in procedural systems. For the rest, these are quite similar. Something else you can do over here, you can use primitive attributes. So for example, I'm going to use over here $PR times 0.2, and as you can see, each of the curves being used are using the primitive number to change the curvature length. Okay, let me remove this back to both 0 values. The other thing you can do is you can use arc length. So for example, if you want to chop something off using a length of 8, it's going to really measure the arc length of these curves and it's going to remove distance of 8 from the curves. And then you have also the ability to remove points, so it's really going to count the points and each time a point is going to be removed. So these are 3 options that you have. The other thing you can do is you can extend the curve. Once you have applied this, keep inside, keep outside is being removed because they don't apply with extending anymore. Now you can go to negative sides, and as you can see, what it will automatically do, it will keep the curvature of the existing curve. So right over here we have like a shorter version of the curve. Now you see this curling in. This has to do with the following settings that we have. Let me put this back to 1 and you see that everything is getting back to its normal length. So with the arc bias, you can set the bias to 0 and like that you get like straight lines. So when it ends, it goes to a straight line. If you go to -1 as a bias, you have like curling to the opposite side. So with this you can really create continuous curvature, straight lines or opposite curvature. What you can do as well over here, just the same as before, you can use an attribute to do something like this, or a variable. These variables are also animatable. The only thing you can't do at this moment is combine this together with the Bezier animation curve. So the combination of using a variable and a Bezier animation curve is not yet available. This is something I'm working on. The other thing you have is, let me put this back to -1 value, is you have U bending. And the bending is that you can make the curves curl, so like that you can get these wavy curls. And what you have on top of this all, you can also change the length bias. So you have this length and you can change the length, making it less continuous, and so therefore you're gonna have like a shorter ending. So you can use this to, for example, lengthen your curve, do this in combination with your arc bias to get these really nice curls at the end. And so this you can really use to create like all kinds of variations, creating procedural lines to create all kinds of nice forms and shapes, which you can see on the orbital images. The same goes over here for the back. So here we have like the bending setting and the U bias that you can change to create whatever curvature you need. Now there's also V settings and other settings. Now these are useful if you want to use surfaces. So it's not only applicable to, let's say, curves, you can also extend surfaces as well. So let's create a grid. Let's say that this grid has like about 7 elements over here. Let's see it like this. I'm going to add a twist operator. It's going to give you some kind of a preview, and then we're going to twist the surface. So not only can you extend curves, but you can also extend surfaces as well, as you can see over here. So you can make this longer and shorter as well. Now, since surfaces are much more complex than curves, the surfaces are going to be calculated to a limited extent. So all the settings apply. You can do exactly the same things as you could do before. You can also use all the U and V settings over here, but what is a limitation is like the maximum surface extension that you can have. In this system, the surface is going to be pre-calculated how it completely extends to a maximum value, and later on we're using these values to recorrect that so that you have still like interactive behavior of the whole thing. So this is some kind of optimization method. So it's only recalculating once you start to change the incoming surface, or once you start to change the maximum surface extension. So if you make this a bigger value, it's going to recalculate the whole thing again, but then you're allowed to have a little bit more extension. So this all concludes the possibilities you have with ExtendedCarve. So it's not only for carving away, it's also extending the surfaces and continuing their curvature.